Dadvertising. Welcome back, Alex.
I like how we said we joked about maybe doing that, and then we did
And then we just went straight into it.
Hey everyone.
Hello everybody.
Hey, we do have the plants in the screen. Do we have the plants in here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
So
adds
that
a little
means
bit of colour.
My phone timer and my Manly Seagulls ball are in the screen as well.
Interesting.
We're at my house today.
Yeah.
Great morning.
Alex, can you tell us why we're not at the podcast studio?
It's not there anymore. We rocked up. We booked in for our podcast. We wanted to do a reunion episode, and we rocked up, and it's just a table and chairs.
It's gone. And so we've reverted back to Alex's kitchen, as you can beautifully see here in the background. And we are just making the most of the situation, aren't we?
It's good.
Very good.
Coffee's free. Well, the coffee's free there as well, actually.
It's actually good coffee as well. Cheers.
We got a refund for the podcast studio.
Everything works out.
It's all worked out well.
Everything's always working out. All right. So what are we doing here today? We're doing a reunion.
We're doing the Dadvertising reunion episode.
Not like a 10-year reunion. No, it's only been like
7.5 months. Whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, what happened in the first place? Why are we needing to do a reunion? Why haven't we done this in ages?
All right. So the reason that we split ways is because Alex said something that really offended me, and I fucking punched him in the face, and it's taken him this long to come back to me.
To physically heal.
Yeah, to physically heal. He doesn't have a black eye anymore.
No.
But yeah, so we've put this invisible barrier between us to make sure that I don't hurt him or you know,
a COVID barrier.
Yeah, plastic the perspex.
Yeah, the perspex.
But no, the real reason was, I think, do you want to explain what you were doing?
Well, we both just got busy.
Yeah.
Didn't we? We both got really, really busy. And with kind of unexpected things that came up in life and business. And you very smartly said, I've got to focus on the one thing, which is something that we both know to be true all the time. Focus on the one thing.
Yeah.
And for yourself as well, you take most of the load of this podcast because you've got the equipment, you've got the team to edit things. And so you said, let's just put that on ice for a bit.
Yeah.
And it made sense. And in retrospect, I wouldn't have had time for it either. So it's been really good. Yeah.
And so you have obviously, went and joined an agency. I think for me, it was a really good time to, like you sort of said, just focus in on what's really, really important, and just make sure there's a few things that I just probably need to prioritize. And whilst I could have fit it all in, I was just getting clear on making sure that I could fit everything in. So so no punch ups, no. Someone did actually ask me. There was one person who did actually ask me, "Is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, right.
So people do care about us.
Was it Panthers Mick or Penrith Mick?
What a legend! Shout out to Miko Dempsey.
Penrith Mick.
No, it wasn't him actually.
Our most loyal listener.
He is actually. No, it wasn't. It was actually Emma. If you remember Emma.
Smith?
Yeah.
I love her to bits.
Yeah, so she asked me, is everything okay with you and Alex? And I was like, everything's good. So,
Emma, you are so friendly and enthusiastic and supportive.
Amazing lady.
Yeah, I've been since I've come back to social media, Emma's just been the first person to comment and like all my posts.
Yeah,
and
good.
Yeah,
she's a weapon.
I can see why she would have thought that, because not only did we stop posting this, I completely disappeared off social media altogether for like a long time.
Yeah.
So here we are, but we're back.
We're back.
Not necessarily for pre-framing, not necessarily for weekly episodes or anything, just
like we might do this periodically. Yeah. Just do a catch up every couple of months or something along those lines. Anyway, see how things go. So in today's episode, we're going to go through a little bit about what's been happening over the last 6 or 7 months, however long it's been. Going to be talking about some AI stuff. Obviously, everyone's talking about AI.
Yeah.
Obviously, advancements of AI are pretty significant, and it's definitely changing my business and the trajectory of that. So keen to hear your thoughts on what's happening in that world. We're going to give our NRL predictions. So at the time of this recording, we're about to enter round 1.
Yep.
However, The third grade side from Penrith absolutely walloped Manly in a trial game. Lucky it was a trial game.
Though. Not our top
Yeah,
team.
so you didn't have Daly Cherry Evans. You didn't have your Travojevic brothers, but it was the third grade side from Penrith absolutely wiped the floor with Manly's, call it reserve grade team.
I'd say it was
with
our
most
bench,
of like you had roughly about 10 to 12 NRL players in that team anyway. So
Yeah.
but that's okay. It's just a trial game, isn't it, Alex?
It's just a game. It's just a game in general.
Yeah,
Ultimately,
absolutely.
none of this matters, Alan.
No.
What are we here for?
That's right. It definitely doesn't matter, and definitely don't put emotion behind anything or or get offended or get aggressive or like passive aggressive or anything like that at all.
We'll never get passive aggressive.
Yeah.
If you happen to be listening to the show rather than watching it right now, the smile on Alan's face right now. If you looked up smug in the dictionary, they'd have this.
That
guy.
is a definition.
They'd have this guy sitting right there.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun, man. Yeah, NRL, AI,
and then
focus.
focus for 2025, and then we've got some rapid fire questions, almost like a little bit of a life update.
The big questions.
So, the big questions. All right. First of all, so can you just walk me through what has been happening for the last 7 months, Alex?
Yeah. So when we last recorded, before you broke up with me, I was
Over text as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't even,
I think it was an audio message.
There you go.
You got a
We're
nice
in-
frothy upper lip there, brother.
It's 2024 at the time.
Yeah.
Audio messages were coming in.
Mate. If I could never receive
Oh, it was
another
probably a
voice
Slack
message-
one as well. It was on Slack. I'm pretty sure.
Could have been. Yeah.
There we go. Anyway. Yeah.
I like audio messages on Slack because it transcribes it for you. You can read them.
Yeah, true.
You don't have to listen to them because I'm not I know you sent me one this morning because you were driving, I imagine.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's understandable. But voice messages. If you're trying to reach me, do not send me a voice message. Unless it's like 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
If I get one that is over a minute, I'm not listening to it.
Fair enough.
So, proven.
There you go.
I partnered up. Like at the end of when we were last recording, I had freshly partnered up as like a experimental startup agency with Scott, who taught me how to market, very close friend, and that just turned into a really big full-time role. Basically, it blew up, and within a few months, I was leading a creative team. We had some massive clients. We were learning all this stuff, all these responsibilities. My own business, To The Moon Digital, had to take second string, and so I kind of adapted that to be more of a done with you style course almost, just to keep it going, keep my staff paid, keep like paying off plans, that sort of thing. While I just became, head of a creative team for a much bigger marketing agency, and that's where I was up until a week and a half ago.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so to go into more detail, I suppose we had 5 or 6 like really good marketing leaders on this team, running different parts of the team, media buying, creative, strategy, sales. And then we had an army of like awesome designers, tech experts, funnel builders, people solely just doing data, people solely just doing video, solely just doing like customer support. And it was just a big exercise, man. It was a big operation. And I've been working an awful lot, but also learning from people who are better than me 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Which has been amazing because when you're running your business, if you're not going out there and hiring coaches and stuff like that, you tend to just be learning from yourself.
100%, yeah.
So staying in that same level,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you have any follow-up questions?
No, like I think, so obviously joined the agency, got to experience like some really big accounts, obviously probably sounds like a lot bigger ad spend than you've been used to and whatnot as well. Obviously got to see some of the things behind the scenes and bring that wealth of knowledge back into To The Moon Digital now.
Yeah, exactly. Is it totally right? Because there's styles of marketing, styles of funnels I've never done before.
Yeah.
Really, really high level execution, a lot of delivery, a lot of work to put them together. But when you do and they work, your client can be sitting there acquiring. Basically, the idea was to acquire low-ticket customers in the front end for like $14 to $27. Put them through a funnel that ascends them through upsells. Then by the end of that, they're booking in calls or buying courses, and they're going from you're paying for your own ad spend and profiting off that with the low-ticket sales while you're sleeping. And then when you go to pitch high-ticket, you're pitching it to people who've already bought your stuff, consume your content, pay for your ad spend. So it's an amazingly good style of marketing. Beautiful. And I've never done that before, so I learned how to do that. But like you said, it's very similar to when I was in restaurants, right? I had this real sort of ambition in my first few years where I was working these more casual places. And then I had this like chip on my shoulder. I've got to be working in the best places. And every time I went up to these really good restaurants, I would learn so much. I would get faster. I would have more techniques. But then I'd always find that the vibe in that kitchen wasn't for me. I'm not sure what it was, whether it was like pressure was too high, responsibility or something about it. And it's kind of what's happened at this agency as well.
It's like the best examples that I can use is always fast food restaurants. Like, so for example, like if you're in the restaurant space or hospitality, like the systems and processes that McDonald's has implemented are like second to none. Like outstanding. Like to be able to take an order and have it like within minutes, like if that. But that's not to say that you can't appreciate a good system and process, but you have to operate the same way that McDonald's does. Like, you obviously take the pieces that work for you. In this case, you know, some really good systems, processes, things that you really liked, things that you thought differently about, whatever the case may be, and you're now implementing that for yourself and your clients as well.
And the thing about like Macca's is so interesting, man, because when you're working in restaurants, you can always tell who kind of started off at Macca's. Because they're just better at like mopping the floor. That sort of thing. They're just better at those things.
Attention to detail.
Exactly. Like using timers and stuff. So exactly. So when I would go from these fine dining restaurants down to the more casual places, I was coming back to a vibe that fit my energy more, just in terms of, I'm a pretty free and easy guy. I say things that get me in trouble all the time. I kind of like, I don't have that sort of corporate speak, and I kind of like to be on my own time a little bit. But now I've got the recipes, you know, and it's not to say like I'm nicking stuff. I've been leveled up, and now I can deliver that in a way that fits my lifestyle better. And they equally can find someone who fits a higher level of company better, you know, to perform there, who thrives in that environment. So I don't know about you. You used to work at a bank, right?
Yeah, but I actually used to work at Macca's as well.
Yeah, there you go.
I got let go.
There you go.
But yes.
But like I've never had a full-time job. Like outside of kitchens, I've never had a full-time sit-down job, Zoom meetings, check-in, HR department. And I'm just not used to it. And so like
you're absolutely right. Even with Commonwealth Bank, the systems and like I would say more so the way that they approach risk is far different. Like when you've got a I might be misquoting this, but I believe they have over 50,000 employees here in Australia. Maybe less now that they've not got branches, etc. But like the way that they assess risk is on a completely different level and scale to the way that you and I assess risk in a small business, right?
So they're more risk averse or less?
Way more risk averse. And so like, but it also means that like by having an organisation of that size, decisions are so fucking slow that like it just feels like nothing ever gets done and whatnot. So even like I had a really good example of someone who wants a client who's trying to publish an ad, and you know we both come from the CBA background, so he took too much of the risk, and it's like, mate, like yes there are risks, like, but you know, and it's not necessarily like, to give context, this is not necessarily from a meta policies issue. This is more along the lines of like, this particular person is talking about investing in property and superannuation and being concerned with like the risk and legalities with ASIC and things. And I said, look, I can't guide you, but like at the end of the day, there are people advertising in this space. You've just obviously got a different approach according to what we've strategized. There is always going to be a risk with everything. And it's whether you want to take the risk or not. And I'm sure that, you know, if there were an issue, you'd be warned before like having you know, anyway, that's, yeah.
It's a difficult kind of client, that one, to touch on that one, because they're doing nothing wrong. It's just two mindsets coming against each other.
Well, yeah.
Where we're the kind of people to be like,
do you want results?
I'll have a go, yeah.
Yeah, do you want, yeah.
The fastest way to learn if something's broken is to turn it on, you know?
Yeah.
And then if like there is, like, I had someone reach out to me on Instagram the other day, be like, oh, your booking page doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right, it doesn't work. But my business had miraculously kept going for months, you know, and this page was just broken, you know? So, I like that, man. Yeah, so that's what's been happening with me, really, in business. I think we'll go through business, family, and miscellaneous stuff. Business for me, I've had To The Moon Digital on the back burner for a bit. I'm fresh back into it as of 8 days ago, which is awesome. Full-time.
Look out.
Yeah, and I'm just feeling like a lot more peaceful at the moment, which is cool. I don't, to be, you know, I've got a lot less security in front of me, but I've been in that position 1,000 times, as I'm sure you have, and that's just kind of where I'm at, man.
Just got to back yourself,
feeling good,
just keep moving.
Exactly. I've always done it before, and you just do it again.
Well, like, fun story. Please. I think I got, so it was probably just before we finished up. Like, I came to you and I was stressing about money. I just got hit with a huge tax bill and a few other things. And I still remember, like, we went for a walk to the cafe because I was like, can I just, like, we'll record our podcast, but just let me get this shit out, because I'm just like, I'm not mentally ready for it. And the thing you said to me is, dude, like, you'll be fine. Like, you'll make it work. And I still remember that. I was like, I didn't have that level of I do back myself. Like, I know I can make things work. I'm just looking at it very narrow-minded. And the thing is that, like, if you're a business owner and you haven't been in tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt in some way, shape or form, you'll get there eventually. Like, especially if you want to be successful, it will happen one way or another.
Yeah.
You can try and act with caution and, like, you know, but the thing is that one way or another, in order for you to take risks and make things happen, you need to, like, you're going to run into some problem. Yeah. Like, someone's going to fuck you over unintentionally. You know, something will happen, and you just got to, like, you've just got to back yourself and just keep moving forward as well.
I'm in a ton right now.
Yeah.
But what I said to you that day was like, okay, here's the figure that you owe.
Yeah.
Here's, like, how many clients that takes for you to get there. It's not that many.
Yeah.
You know, like, if I was to look at everything my business owes right now and how many sales I would need to make to cover that, it's not that many. And like, a lot of people just working a salary job, they're not in that position, you know. And so people have these enormous companies. Like, my friend runs a building company, and they're not doing like renos, they're doing like apartment buildings from scratch. Dude, the amount of money that goes into starting those things on day one, or back to restaurants or brick and mortar, you're hundreds in the hole of thousands in the hole day one, before you put a single dollar in the cash register, you know? It's not like online business where it's like,
we work into, like, and exactly like you said, like, sometimes you just got to change your perspective, and this is the importance of environment, like being around. Like, I was so glad that we were doing the podcast, we had that catch up, because you probably don't realize how important, like, I've got some really good people around me, but like, you just reinforced my confidence, like, at that point in time for me. So thank you.
You're the man. Strong knuckles on Alan getting this and me. From beating your chest all the time. Every time you make a sale, every time you make some money, it's punching the wall, Jordan Belfort style. The testosterone up there in Tuggerah, or wherever you live. I spoke to a man the other day on the phone who knows you, and I said he lives in Gosford, and he's like, no, he doesn't. He lives in, and then said the suburb where you live. I don't know the name of it.
Who's the dude?
A guy named Troy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He said he did a program of yours or something like that. a while
Interesting.
ago. Yeah, but he's like, he
Okay.
doesn't live in Gosford. He lives in. Is that true? Somewhere else that's not
Yeah.
Gosford. There you go.
I'm not going to tell you the
Trying to
suburb.
not reveal the suburb, otherwise.
No, but it's in and around Wyong,
There you
around
go.
Tuggerah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So
Yeah,
Alan doesn't live in Gosford.
there you go.
On the record.
On the record.
Yeah.
There we go. But
So business for you, man, has been going well.
so you're not going to talk about your miscellaneous? Or sorry, are we going back? Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's too much for me otherwise.
Okay. So business has been going really well. Since we caught up, I just got really, really focused on the one thing, which is like just making sure I'm like executing my client delivery, making sure I'm making things work. Like, you know, you can easily fall into this place where I fell into this place where I thought I was putting enough money away for tax and things like that, and just got hit. And then like just a few other like curveballs in business, just normal shit, just like it really got to me at that point in time. I brought on a mentor, and he has been incredible. Shout out to Charlie Vella. He's been absolutely, like, he's just helped and walked me through different things, from like not only just being focused on, you know, on the thing that's going to move, but also just slowly like improving the business, improving my staff, telling me when, like, I'll come to him with an idea. It's like, oh, I'm thinking about running an in-person event. He's like, that's a fucking horrible idea. Just stay focused on the thing that works. I was like, okay, great idea.
Bali retreat.
Yeah, exactly. So that sort of thing. And so that has been incredible for me. Charlie also, Charlie runs an agency, probably very similar to Scott's, that's doing huge volume with some really big clients. And so it's great to have that not only marketing mentor, who's also, you know, helped me. Like, I've been running ads almost as long as I've been in business for myself, but to be able to now like be guided through on how to use our assets really well and effectively with his help and guidance as well. That's been really helpful. So the biggest change in business, because realistically, like it's the same as it's always been, except for the fact that we now do lead generation, and we now get involved in the ad spend side of things.
Direct competition with me. I get it.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Same market, same offer, but yours has got video as well. Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, so it's been really good to sort of venture into this side. I still give you referrals. And,
You do?
Yeah. We still like share around business and whatnot anyway. You know, Alex is helping, whilst I'm your competition, you're helping me anyway. So like, it's your own fault.
We're not in competition.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so business is really good. And like, I guess I'll humbly say, like, we're kicking some goals, some really good goals, which is really exciting. And I'm sort of at that point now, like as of January. So we're in the end of Feb filming this. And you know, January was my 6-year anniversary since I left my full-time job.
Nice.
And it's so funny. Like, I still feel like, you know, some of the lessons that I'll go through, I still feel like I'm in my first year of business. But then also, like, I'll remember, I was like, I have this fucking incredible reputation where, like, literally on the way here, I had a call from a referral from one of my existing clients, who's in recruitment, and just that stuff happens because of the reputation, the work that you do, the flow and effect, and all the other things as well. It's just like, honestly, I'm just super happy. Our family is happy, healthy. Our kids are getting older, and you know, it's really important to obviously be present with them and the family and all the other things.
How old are your kids now?
So 7 and 10.
7 and 10.
Yeah.
There you go.
So and so Oski and I go down. My 7-year-old we go down to the skate park a lot.
Still going to Slam Factory.
Slam Factory, yes, that's exactly right. Go down and have a surf every now and then. He's got a little foamy. That's cool. He's into soccer and everything else. And Ruby, She's just a beautiful, like she actually did this painting for my sister. So my sister unfortunately had one of her dogs. Anyway, the dog died. It was a bit of an accident with another dog. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, Ruby painted a photo of the dog. It's because the dog was one of 3.
Yeah.
And so she painted this photo for my sister Danielle, and it was so beautiful. And so she does these groups and classes. She's learning lots around art and things like that. So that's really cool. And also, like, you know, she does these loom bands for those who are watching.
Yeah.
She does these like loom band things for me. And even when, like, sometimes they get a little bit, like, because I wear them all the time, they get a little bit discoloured. Like, she'll just come and, like, give me a new round when they're not as colourful as they were a few weeks ago and things like that. So
yeah, great. So she's 7. My
Ruby's 10.
Oh, she's 10. Okay,
Ruby's 10, Oski's 7.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to say,
Yeah.
'cause, like, my daughters are nearly 5, and they're doing that in 2 years sounds far
Yeah.
out. But yeah, I forgot they're the other way around.
Yeah.
How
But
good.
family's good, business is great, and then, but yeah, so
You work in, you and Jess work together as well. So
Yes.
family and business, like,
yeah,
you know, that's a you just been to America the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
That was it. So we've covered that holiday, and then
Yeah.
you managed to do family, business, and holiday all at the same time. Massive win to be able to work together and still have a fun relationship.
Yeah.
Is a real triumph. So
exactly.
bravo.
And it by no means is it easy to do. Like, you know, we both sometimes are both looking at each other and are just like deep in like fucking like, can you just fucking do this? But it's like you cannot talk to your fucking wife like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Good thing you didn't say it on a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully she skips over this part. Or she doesn't listen to it anyway. She just listens to the first 5 minutes. Hello, Jess, I love you. So no, it's being in business together is definitely challenging, especially like, or more so when shit hits a fan, but it's also really cool to celebrate the wins. Like, we have made so much momentum in our business, and we've both dug in, like, you know, like we obviously each made sacrifices, but also like she made a huge sacrifice to leave. She was doing a uni degree, like in psychology, and she was doing it part-time, and she made it on her own accord. Like, it wasn't pressure from me, but she chose to focus in on the business to make sure it gets to where it needs to be. And there's no way that I have that we've built the momentum without her making that decision.
Mad.
Or like the decisions that I've made at the same time as well. But like, she's just been absolutely phenomenal. And it's good to be able to celebrate when we overcome, like, you know, little debt. Like, there's lots of different things that we've paid off in between since we last caught up and things like that. And we're still got a little bit to go. But it's all coming together anyway. So yeah. So what's miscellaneous in your world, Alex?
Miscellaneous. So family, business, and miscellaneous. Well, you commented on my legs on the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been going after it in the gym, which has been nice. I've got a gym partner.
No skipping leg day.
I do skip leg day a bit, but only because I get I've got a bit of a bad lower back.
Yep.
And it gets very affected when my sort of hamstrings and glutes tighten up.
Yep.
So if I overdo legs, then I tighten up for days. So I've been doing legs, but just kind of machine, like pin loaded machines, nothing too crazy. No like heavy squats or anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, man, I got a gym. I could go up the road.
Yeah.
We live a few houses away. He works from home as well, and we just go to the gym like 3 times a week.
Boom.
And I do it on my other days as well. But having like a partner to push you a little bit, to like help you lift that extra little bit of weight or just jack you up. Man, like we're both
Poke you in the butt.
Exactly. So much
Yeah.
gay stuff around the gym. The gym is just, you know, guys smacking each other's bums and like sitting on each other's laps. But it's just that's been really handy.
Yeah.
So, and fitness is another thing. Like you've worked in your fitness heaps. When someone physically notices a change, you're like, I'm doing the right thing, you know. which is in every part of life. Just
100%.
a little bit of external validation every now and then is very handy.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So fitness has been good. The other big change in my life is Ali, well, mostly me, but I've come to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere. We're going to church every weekend as a family.
So what made you make that decision? What happened?
It was a really it was kind of just like a, what's the word? It was referred from my love of history.
Yeah, right.
Really, because my sister has been working on me for about 20 years because she's been a Christian forever, and I've just resisted it completely until like recently, probably like August, September. I heard a guy, like a comedian on like Rogan or something like that, talking about a book called The Case for Christ, which is like, it's basically a historian who went out trying to disprove Christianity and accidentally converted himself by getting all this like historical evidence for Christianity. And I love ancient history.
Yeah.
So I was listening to that book when I was walking, go to the gym.
Yeah.
I was like, this is mad. Similar time, Ali and I started watching a show called The Chosen, which is a dramatized Netflix level series all about the gospel, like the life of Jesus. And it's like 5 seasons and it's really good. So I had it coming from all angles all of a sudden. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try and like learn about this. I found myself not resisting it for the first time, which was like really interesting to me because I've like actively just mocking Christians for years, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I got what's called the King James Bible, which is like a really old school version by accident. And I was like, I don't understand a word of this because it's all in like ye old English. I went to my Christian mate, Anthony, I was like, I don't understand a word of this. He's like, you got the wrong one. They've made one easy now. And so I ordered an NIV, which is a New International Version. Yeah. And then made my way through the stories in there that were correlating with the series I was watching, so I kind of understood what was happening, even if I didn't get the language. And then just found myself getting into it more, and you have conversations, and like they say that, you know, Jesus knocks on your door until you let him in, or he works on your heart, that sort of thing. And so I kind of let it happen. And then Ali was there the whole time, and then I started, and like the week before Christmas, we started going to a local church that our mates go to. It's been really nice. I'm the backup drummer at church now.
Beautiful. There you go.
So I got a drum kit in my office, and I'm playing Sunday.
There you go. There you go.
Which has been really fun. Getting back into the drums as well.
Yeah.
Another thing that like this freedom, the style of business I'm running now, which is like far fewer hours per day than working in someone else's business. I am. I'm getting back into drums and music, which I haven't really had that much time for, and I'm fitter, even though it's only been recently, I'm making content. So that all these things together, and it'd be a whole nother podcast, but I attribute like a lot of the decisions I've made to being kind of called to now to do so. Because you kind of ask for guidance, you pray 100%. For guidance, that sort of thing.
100%.
And then you get it. And then you look back, it's like, came out of nowhere, or did it, you know? So that's been really interesting, man.
Very interesting.
My big miscellaneous point, I'd say.
Very good.
Yeah, what's miscellaneous for you? How's your surfing going?
Well, so I started to learn how to surf. Well, I should say I've owned a surfboard, like a big Mini Mau, for a few years now, ever since I moved up to the Central Coast, last 5 years.
9 foot, 10 foot?
Yeah, 9 point something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that has been really cool because it's a really good way of like making sure I've got something in alignment with trying to get healthy, but also something fun that's just not work related. Also do play Oz tag as well, which is cool. But a fun fact, obviously you're getting into like your Christianity and everything else. I've really dived deep into different plant medicines and other things. So I won't go too deep, but like you
mean legal things like oregano and salads?
Exactly. All of the legal things. But
you gave me a salad infused chewing gum before. You really taste the lettuce.
And but it's that is like and look, as you know, I've now been sober. It's now 5 years as of 5 years as of March. mid-March. Anyways,
Nice. How
yeah,
good's that?
yeah. So, but like I've been experimenting with some of these other things, and not only for creativity, but also just like, I wouldn't call it stress relief, but like it really is just knowing, when to switch off and when to give yourself a rest.
Yeah.
Like I obviously travel around a lot and work. I do work like big hours and whatnot. And so like I could be working or doing some filming on a weekend or be coming home from interstate into like family time and all the other things. And sometimes like, you'll know as a dad, like you don't really, like the weekends aren't really for resting as for looking after your kids.
So much work.
You have more time to rest during the week on a day, like being in business, as you know. So like having a day off and just taking half a day and just trying a couple of different things and
yeah.
But that helps with not only like the reset, but also my creativity. It allows me to like, because effectively, like the whole reason we're in business is you want to create a life that you don't need a holiday from. Like, yes, it's still good to travel. Yes, it's still good to see different things and be excited for going different places. But you don't, you want to work and operate in a way that you don't feel like I need a break from like working. You just want to obviously enjoy what you do, love what you do as much as possible. Like, I still don't like traveling, but I do it because I'm good at filming with people face to face. And that's just the way it works. And that's like, it's part and parcel. I get paid well for it. I love it. I'm good at it. And it pays. Yeah. Again, it supports our family and supports the people that work in the business. So why the fuck not? So
Get that, man. 100%.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I think the plant medicine thing, like the reset and creativity, I think sometimes I need the reset to be creative.
Yeah.
Like whether or not, I know plant medicine can hit up certain receptors which will make you think things you probably wouldn't have. But also you said that you get your best ideas on walks, and I get mine at the gym.
Absolutely.
When you're not focusing on what you should be doing. So I think that's a really interesting idea, man.
Yeah. And it's also like, I think certain ones will allow you to connect with nature more. Like they're intended, like the way that they're not designed, like I'm sure someone designed them, God, whatever, but the way that there's just so many different possibilities with connection to yourself, the earth and other things that just unlock, even like, I was having some mushrooms the other day and had some, like, it was a day off, had a day off.
Sounds like a day off. Yeah.
And like,
what
I was
time of the day are you having your mushrooms?
Like after I drop my kids off.
Like 8 a.m. so then.
About 9 o'clock.
Mad.
Yeah. So I drop the kids off and then go to where I'm going, like take some mushrooms and then like standing at the bank of the water and just honestly just connecting with like nature, like looking at the clouds, looking at the water, like the wind and how it like works with nature and things like that. And just things that like you wouldn't think to stop and look at and just pay attention to. But like, it's very interesting, and I might sound like a complete freak and weirdo by saying this, but like there is so much wisdom through our earth and our surroundings that you can learn. And it's just like grass, like the grass that you see on the ground or in nature. It has a system, like the system is predicated around like either having roots and spreading out, and then the colors, and then like, the place I was standing, the lawn had been mowed recently, so like there were certain pieces that had been cut, and like I'm getting fucking deep on fucking grass.
No.
But you can sort of see like what I'm trying to articulate is like when you stop and can disconnect from business and other things, there's just this real opportunity to really pay attention to and be present to your surroundings, and there is, I don't know, like this may sound weird again, but for me there is a lot of wisdom in our earth and in the nature and in the sea and the water, the wind, all the other things. And sometimes you've got to stop and slow down to really pay attention to all of it as well. So
Well,
Yeah.
the fact that it all works together is bonkers.
Yeah.
I think that about human bodies.
Yeah.
You know, like healing. And Ali and I were talking the other day. It's like,
Yeah,
when-
like you
when
have a little cut and
Yeah.
it just heals over a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, because we were watching some emergency medical show.
Yeah.
And it's like there's it was like, where do you bleed from? Where's your blood? Because obviously it's in your veins,
Yeah.
but then there's just the right amount just under your skin,
Yeah.
so that you have some in your muscles. And how does that
Yeah.
work? And the thing about the human body, what's even more amazing, it's doing everything in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
you
even
can't
like,
see.
yeah, but just even like your intestines are like 2 meters long, like, and it's
I
just,
think I think your small intestine's longer than that.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your small intestine's like crazy long.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you have like, they say something like, if you lined up every blood vessel back to back in a line, it would like wrap around the earth, that
There
sort
you
of thing.
go.
Like,
Yeah, crazy.
amounts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just incredible people. And like we're incredible beings and we sometimes it's easy to just get so caught up in like your problems and not even look at what's right in front of you. And that's why I do it. It's like to generate, like to have presence, but also realign myself. So yeah.
It often makes problems smaller as well when you
Correct.
look at how big
Perspective.
and complicated everything else is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perspective.
I used to think this all the time when we were fully broke, when I was like 25, 26, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, I can't make a sale today. Where am I going to get money from? And then I'd just be like, every single one of these people on the road with me has paid at least $20,000 for that car.
Yeah.
And then someone paid for the road. And then someone paid for the signs. And I was like,
Yeah.
there's so much money everywhere. And it's always made my problems feel smaller just by
Yeah.
kind of looking outside of my little bubble.
Yeah.
And so that's what
absolutely.
you're doing. You're just allowing yourself to disconnect from the million things you have to
Yeah.
do in family and work.
And just having true presence anyway. But yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
That's that.
I became a Christian, you became a hippie. There we go.
Correct. There we go.
You've always been a bit of a hippie. You're
I
such a
have.
peace and love guy.
Yeah, I have. I was actually like, so just on the Christianity thing, I grew up in a very Christian home, and I still to this day pray and things like that. There are things that I don't want to get into, but there are things that I don't agree with. It's not necessarily the church or even the people. It's that I don't actually, I'll say it out loud, I'm not sure if I believe that sin actually exists yet.
Sin.
You know, sin, S-I-N. Yeah. So that's like my own personal thing. But like I believe Jesus is here.
What
Believe-
mushroom told you that, Alan?
But you know, and also that other things. But anyway, I guess your religious choices is your own personal thing anyway. So yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be free will.
Exactly. But
That's what
but
they want.
anyway,
That's
so
what
like
These politicians, that's what they want.
Yeah,
Like-
but exactly. But you know, like at the end of the day, you sort of make your own decisions. You know, I definitely, from my Christian upbringing, I definitely use different things like prayer and other things. Like the Bible is a good book. There's lots of good principles in there. So yeah, very good.
There you go.
All right.
Loves a bit of prayer. AI.
AI. So one of the things that I thought we'll talk about to change directions is AI. Now, the reason I was very keen to talk about this is because whilst it's not new, it's evolving so fucking quickly. And I'd love to understand, first of all, how you use AI, or like what's different for you today than even 12 months ago. AI now.
So 12
plays a
months
part.
ago, we definitely had ChatGPT, and you were starting to use it for copywriting, that sort of thing.
Yep.
But you look back at the stuff that was back then, it's very rudimentary, lots of emojis and the same sort of weird language.
Yeah.
And that's about a year ago. And then I started using it for also ad creatives and imagery. You know, just draw me a business owner who just set their laptop on fire. And that sort of thing's really good, right? But since then, I've really learned to use it as a tool to not do work for me, but do 80% of the work so that 20% of human interaction makes it really spectacular work.
Yep.
That, you know, so
Yep.
we built our own bot. We trained our own bots basically on different marketing books and principles, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And we also worked really hard to create templates and prompts based off of things that we've done manually that have worked really well.
Beautiful.
And so when you've got, for example, a template for an email sequence style that you've run 3 times and it always works, if you can turn that into something where it's a structure with language that works, and you can feed that into AI, but AI already has a knowledge of your client, your customer base, the avatar, and the style. Doing all of that means that you can knock out hours worth of busy work and replace that time with thoughtful preparation and editing.
It takes the labor out of like the thought process that you need to implement over, like, not only as an individual but as a team.
Filling in templates and that sort of thing is not as high skill level of a job as creating and refining the systems.
Exactly.
Like McDonald's we talked about. The person who builds the systems is the genius. The person who runs them still has to have a skill, but just needs to know how to do what was done before them. So we've really worked on copywriting. I have done a lot of copywriting with AI, and then gone back and edited heavily. But it takes me 1 hour to edit instead of 6 hours to write. That's one part of it. And the other part I've been using quite a lot is really just helping to process and review my own thoughts, that sort of thing.
Interesting.
So if I have like a strategy for a client, you know, they'll come up and I'll say, okay, I'm just going to write a headline or a hook. You know, so we got this lady who's written a book about property, for example, and we want to do a video sales letter for her. And I'll just be like, how this X name of property millionaire is teaching X to achieve whatever. And I'll fill that in and I'll just write, does this fit the avatar well? And AI might be like, this part does, this part could be better. And it would give me a suggestion. I'll be like, nah, not that, but that prompts an idea in my head. And I've been coming up with really great marketing angles just through having a business partner to bounce off, really. Who's actually really highly trained because they've read every book ever. You know, so it's much more the first sort of, it's the middle 60% of a lot of the work I do, but then the magic happens in the first and last percentages. That's fair enough to say.
And as a business owner, what that allows you to do is just, again, it allows you, like, so just to your point, I use AI in a very, very similar way, in the sense of, like, I will have clients do a lot of prep to begin with. I'll use the AI with some structure that I'm going to give it. I still definitely refine it, but I can knock that out in just over an hour rather than taking an entire day or hiring a copywriter full time to do that. And so it just means that, like, those costs of hiring a copywriter are not offloaded to the client. Like, the client, you can keep your margins as not only profitable, but also, like, you can keep your margins as effective as possible for a client to be able to say yes, because you don't have to consider that labor cost involved in your service.
Totally. It's almost the equivalent of like having an offshore manufacturing for your products, that sort of thing. It is still getting a job done well. It's cheaper, it's faster. Horrible analogy, but it's cheaper, faster, and as long as the product that comes out the other end is still good. The way I explain AI to some clients who I'm kind of teaching, and they ask me how to use AI, I'll be like, how do you normally use ChatGPT? And they'll be like, I put a prompt in, copy and paste it, and you can tell. It's the same stuff all the time. It's like, I may have used this analogy before, but you know those calculators you get at school, scientific calculators with 400 buttons on them? Do you know how to use them? No. You give it to us, and we can do pluses and takeaways and divisions, that sort of thing. It's a tool we don't know how to use very well. But if you give it to a bloody astrophysicist, they can tell you when the universe started, you know, because they know the formulas. So ChatGPT is like that. Like, it's just a tool, and the more knowledge you put into it, the better you'll get out of it.
100%. Exactly.
I don't know much about video. Is there any video AI that's working? Not
that, like, we still have editors, and like there are a lot of different tools and different things out there, but we still have a team of editors. I'm sure it will evolve over a course of a period of time, and I'm obviously keen to see it, but I can still tell the difference when something's edited by an editor versus it's AI.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, because the thing is, and this is actually talking about video, this is why I probably wanted to talk about it, is because whilst there are advancements in AI and like everyone thinks that like more is more, it's actually like less is more at the same time.
Yeah.
Like we don't have our podcast mics here, but we're still getting a job done.
It'll be fine.
And it will be fine. And like, not only can we adjust the audio, but also more importantly, like this might be more effective than any one of the other episodes we've done because we're holding it. It's like, why are you fucking holding mics? Why don't you just clip it on?
Yeah.
Like, why are you still holding it? And like, there's different things that will just play in people's minds as a result of doing something. And so for me, like less is more. Like I feel like we've just gone through this big phase where like everything was about more edits, more jump cuts, which like to a degree, like that still works, right? But I think people are so overloaded. Like I know I am like overloaded with just so much stuff that's happening on your newsfeed that you're like, I just want to like, I want to like, you know, for some people, are looking to scroll to escape, right? They just want something to like, it's the same as like watching TV. You just want to escape for a momentarily or whatever. But if someone takes the time to give you some quality information in a way that is understandable, consumable, but also creatively interesting, like that's going to land differently. And so coming back to the AI thing, I still think like, at this very moment, 2025 is still a huge opportunity to really like not overthink your content, keep it nice and simple. Less is more, but also the production quality you don't have we've got like some of the best, you know, including your phone and other things, some of the best tools in front of us. But I think some of the best opportunities really just exist in like actually thinking about. Actually, like taking the time to genuinely think about what's actually going to really serve. Because you can ask a question to ChatGPT, give me 100 pieces, give me 100 headlines on this, right? And one or two of them, or maybe a few more, will be absolutely fucking outstanding. But the more time you take to think about your ideal client, even think about what are the problems or what are the conversations that I was having last week. AI is just not up to that level, or like maybe it will be after like we put a chip in or whatever else is going to happen.
It's going to put a chip in itself. Is what's going to happen.
Yeah, but like, you know, until it gets to that circumstance where it's able to like take your experiences without you even prompting it.
Yeah.
You know, that is where I believe the opportunity for authenticity really comes in. The part that disappoints me the most about AI is I think people sort of get this instance where like I can now just hold my toxic or negative self-image. Like I now don't have to put myself on camera because I can put an avatar,
right.
Or I can take a photo and it can move my lips and all the other things as well.
Yeah.
That is the part that I'm sort of like against, because my real joy is helping bring out the very best in people, and I think it's a shame that people are challenging themselves to try and get better, or even to try and put themselves out there, but because of these tools that are now available. That's the only thing that I don't like about AI. Everything else, like I save heaps on labor costs. I'm able to be much more productive. There are shoots where I have literally been asked, can we do a video sales letter? And I say, give me 5 minutes, and I prompt a few things away, and I've got something ready to go, like a script, and we execute it. Like, so that wouldn't happen under normal, like, 2 or 3 years ago, but now I can.
yeah, who knows what will happen next? But I think the main thing is you need the knowledge and the personal experience to be able to make it
100%.
to make it work, and that's why I think there's always going to be space for a creative lead person in the business. Maybe there won't always be a space for copywriters and designers, but there will for the strategists, at least for the next few years until it's not.
100%. What do you think AI would say about who's going to win the NRL this year?
Well, AI has been proven to be biased to big corporates, and I know that being sponsored by Oat Milk.
They're not even sponsored by Oat Milk anymore.
Are they not?
No.
Okay.
No, it's called My Place now.
My Place.
Yeah.
Oh, even worse. I reckon these big...
Yeah, Oat's such a big corporate, isn't it?
Big corporate, mega conglomerates are going to be feeding false
Instead of a
information.
waste company, URM, is it? URM?
No, we're a betting company now.
Okay.
Yeah, PointsBet, much more moral. Yeah, so...
I'm pretty sure
Garbage
Panthers are
gambling.
now... Oh, no, it's PickleBet.
PickleBet. There we
Sponsored
go.
by, yeah.
Yeah, so... Nonetheless, I think in my heart, Manly's always getting better, but Penrith is always the best team. So I think that we've been...
Well, I
moving up.
actually think the Storm will have a big chip on their shoulder. Like, that grand final, like, all of the grand final losers probably hurt, but, like, I would suggest that Melbourne are probably, like, Craig Bellamy will come back firing. Yeah.
It's a two-party system, really. Like, there's always the same two teams that smash it, and that's fine. It's like when it was Federer and Nadal. Remember them?
Yeah.
It's always those two teams at the top. Who's coming in third? Is the interesting
There
thing
you go.
with NRL. I reckon. Luai's gone though, isn't it?
Yeah. So, all right. So, are there any predictions other than who's going to win the comp? Is there anyone who you think did really poorly last year that will do really well this year?
Oh, if it was really poorly last year that did well,
that will do well this year. I'm so interested in this year because I just think that, like, not every team can, like, be in the top 8, obviously. There's, like, got to be a whole stack of teams sitting below. And who are those teams going to be? Like...
Below?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Tigers, Raiders, Eels.
But, like, Tigers have just really updated their roster.
Luai.
The Raiders were... The Raiders beat Panthers last year. Like, before... They were the last team to beat Penrith last year before Penrith never lost a game beyond that point, But that's, like... It's a really interesting point, right? Raiders were coming home strong. The only team that I can see as the weakest link is probably the Dolphins, like, because Wayne Bennett has moved on. But
they had an interesting season last year, didn't they? They started off low. They low, went to the top 1 or 3 for a bit. Yeah. They were like on top for a while, and then just crashed again.
Exactly.
Who's that super fast guy?
Hammer.
Yeah. What's his full name?
Don't ask me.
Hammer
Taboi. Fiosal. Something along those lines.
So fast, so jacked.
Yeah.
That is a physical specimen of a man.
Yes.
You look at him like that. It's like, why were you
Look at his legs.
Look at their legs. They're insane. I met a lot of the Seagulls. They live around here. Yeah. So you see them all the time.
Yeah.
And down to the food court at like 4 p.m. on a weekday. They're always there training, after training. So Turbo was there, but Hamoli Olakawatu is one of our island guys. He was there getting sushi, and I was like, sorry, dude, can I get a photo with you? And he's like, yeah, brother. And he is just a brick. Yeah. He's probably like 6'4".
Yeah.
Everything's thick. He's an absolute monster. Absolute monster. So, they're very, very strong guys. All these, I mean, I've met a few of the locals, but all the sort of Polynesian Islander rugby guys, they are such
absolute
athletes.
weapons.
Yeah. The fast Polynesian guys are so much faster.
Yeah, like Kola. Yeah.
Kola, exactly. Yeah. And we've got Lehigh Hopewadi, who's 19, and he's
a weapon as well.
He's a weapon, and they're all
just not enough of a weapon to beat Panthers on their third grade
No, we've covered that already.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
we covered that at the beginning of the podcast.
Forgot.
Bias is in there.
Sorry.
So,
Yes.
no, man, I think NRL is going to be fun. I'm really excited to have a little more space in my calendar to just focus on these other things that do light me up, because it can get not taken away from you, but it can take second string a little bit when you're just living a relatively transactional life, just ticking all the boxes, doing it well, but don't have space to watch footy.
All right. So what's your focus for 2025?
Focus for 2025 is really just like, firstly, ramp my business back up to a really stable position where I've got my little pool of clients, and that will allow me to then work on a couple other projects I've got in my mind, but I want to get that stability first, because I haven't had it for a while. That's going to be great. And to do that, maybe a handful of boutique done for you clients, which is going to be mad. That's my business focus, because everything else I feel in my life's pretty decent. I don't need to, set massive goals in any of those areas.
Yep.
They're all going quite well.
Yep.
Feeling fit and healthy. I'm really having fun at church and just building this new community of friends.
Yep.
Ali and I are great. Kids are great. It really just is, just fix my business up a little bit, and then figure out from there what's next.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just kind of get back to starting point.
Yep.
And then from there it's going to be, all right, this gives me space. And I've got some ideas, but will they be relevant in a few months' time? You never know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, man. That's me.
Watch your space.
Yeah, watch the space, man. Getting back to, and all that comes with like making more content for myself again, which I enjoy. Make more content, have more conversations, rather than just kind of, I've been at my desk, I've been locked in at my desk for a while, man. Yeah. So that's it for me, brother. How about yourself?
It's going to be quite boring. Just focusing on business. We have made some really good inroads for the year. But the only other exciting thing for me is going to be surfing. So I've been loving urban surf down at Sydney Olympic Park. Have you?
I've not been there. I don't surf.
We have to go.
Yeah.
We have to go. So it's a place where it's a wave pool where you get to obviously the best part about it is it feels like a gym to learn how to surf, right? Because
what are you on? Are you on like a fiberglass?
I'm just on my mini mount.
So you're riding that, but how do they create the wave? Like, what are you sitting on? Because it's a consistent wave.
Yeah.
And that's what you're riding on.
So first of all, the ground underneath, it starts really deep, and then it's sort of like the same way a beach would, where if you look at the sand underneath the waves, it will have banks, and those banks are where obviously the tide is then rolling over, the pressure of the water is in rolling over because of where the banks sit and things like that. Yeah.
So they've figured out how to just recreate a natural wave.
Yeah.
That's
and
mad.
So that's obviously the ground part, but then also to make sure that the wave actually sort of turns when they want it to. But the other part is obviously they've got a huge machine that's just lying in the middle. So there's a left side and a right side. And so the machine sort of sits in the middle, and it's a big big long thing that I'm assuming it sucks in water, and then it's just pushing it the same sort of momentum as a wave, obviously. And so they can every time slot they have different levels.
Yeah.
So they have cruising, which is basically the beginner. I'm up to the next one, which is sort of it's a little bit. It's what's it called? Progressive turns or something like that. So you can you should typically the wave's just a little bit bigger, but it allows you to sort of still get up and make your way around and things like that as well.
That sounds like an awesome goal.
Yeah. So
awesome goal.
Yeah.
I'm doing more swimming actually. That reminds me.
Yeah. There you go.
Water goals. Yeah. I'm doing a swim, a charity swim in March. Doing as much as I can, raising money.
Yep.
And 'cause I'm a shit swimmer, so it's really hard for me. So I'm gonna do that. So that's inspired me to put some Speedos on and
there you go.
Get in the pool, bro.
Get some budgie smugglers.
I have 3 pairs.
There you go.
Yeah.
One of them manly.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
I have some manly ones, and I have some ones that Ali got me during COVID, which are covered with little coronaviruses. Little coronavirus proteins. Yeah. Very funny.
Very good. All right, so let's do rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
All right.
Are we going, you're doing 5, then I'm doing 5 to you? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
go
I'll
ahead.
ask yours first. All right, so what are you reading at the moment?
Bible.
What are you listening to?
Is that music or is that podcast? We didn't.
Let's go. Oh, yeah, playlist, I think we said.
Playlist. What's on my playlist?
Yes.
A lot of country.
Yeah, right.
A lot of country. There's a big connection between Christian and country anyway,
Yeah.
but it's not a hard switch to make. You know, it's an easy transition.
No. What is your go-to healthy meal?
Go to healthy meal. I am a very big steak guy. Ribeye steak with nothing.
Boom. And cheat meal?
Cheat meal, I put too much cheese on everything. So I think what I'd be doing is I'd be doing these big bacon egg wraps that I have, but I'd just be loading it up with cheese and putting too much fat in everything I cook. That's what it is.
Fair enough. Favorite downtime activity?
Drums.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And if you could have a magical wand to have anything come true in 2025, what would it be?
Jesus coming back.
Boom.
That's
there
what
you
we
go.
want.
All right.
Got to get ready. Rapid fire. Alan Howle, what are you reading?
Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
Don't know who that is. Martell.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great
I
book.
never know who these people are.
Dan Martell. Definitely. So Buy Back Your Time.
Yeah.
Great book. I will sit here and go, oh, I'm too stressed. I've got too much work on. It's like, it's not just about like leveraging off other, like it talks about, hiring people and all the other things, but it also talks about your buyback rate and also what you do with your time.
Yeah, cool.
Like, because, we can fuck around, anyway, it's a great book. Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell.
How long is the book?
7 hours or something. It's an audio book.
Should have saved some time, made it like 3 hours long. That's a good book.
Listening on 1.5x speed, so I think it's 5 hours or something.
Saving
like that.
time. There you go. Love that for you.
Yeah.
So that's what you're reading, but you're reading the audio version. So what's on your playlist?
I'm actually really into like this. It's not one particular artist, but it's typically like music that's got a beat, like soft music with a beat with no vocals.
Yeah.
So I don't know
what lo-fi? Or is it just like house, like trance?
I would say more so trance than
house.
anything else. Yeah, trance. That's it's got some sort of progressive beat. I love that.
Nice.
It allows you to sort of work to a beat and sort of move, but also like it's important for, especially when I'm walking, to think as well.
Okay, so you have the same playlist for work as for not work.
Also, yes. Yeah, actually, I do.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I do like flick to I was listening to Kanye this morning and a little bit of Drake and whatnot anyway. But yeah, sometimes, like that is my go-to. Study, I usually type in study trance mix or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Go-to healthy meal.
My go-to healthy meal would have to be... probably Guzman and Gomez, getting a salad, like extra. So I get 2 lots of chicken. So the program that I'm on, it's like a salad thing. You do high protein, low carb. I typically do either burrito bowl with no with no rice or beans, or you go a salad and just get double chicken.
Boom.
Yeah.
Go-to cheat meal.
Typically I love like a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, should we get one after this?
Yes.
We might have got to
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That is my go-to. I am a sucker for it, and it can feel it go, especially if it's really hot. Can feel it go through my fucking system after I've had it as well. Yeah.
Last time we went to Bears, you were deep in the throes of a strong diet.
Yeah.
So you kind of like held back a bit.
Yeah.
But today I'm hungry now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
100%.
Favorite downtime activity?
It has to be surfing or OzTag or walking.
Well, which one is it?
Surfing.
Done.
Yeah.
Especially if you're with your son as well sometimes.
Yeah.
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 If you could wave a magic wand in 2025, what would you love to happen?
I know this actually. So the answer is, I would just like everything to play out as I see it's going to play out. Like I have very realistic goals about investing in property by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Like I've got you know, and I was actually just thinking, I was about to answer with like, I'd love some investment properties, but I actually like really enjoying the fact that I've got to work for it. Like, I don't know, maybe that's like, it sounds very weird.
Gary V would say.
No, but like,
I like it.
I'm just going through like this year, like to begin this year has been one of the most stressful times, but like it's everything that I've asked for, everything that I've wanted. I've been so intentional with everything that I asked for, bringing on team members, doing this, doing that, and it's been fucking stressful. But the best thing, like I can reflect now and look back at it and go, I'm so glad that I'm just willing to face this adversity that I know I'm creating for myself, trying to do all these things at once and still get through it and look back and go, fuck, like I actually did it. Like, and just keep using that momentum again. So if
you had a magical wand.
Magical wand is just to let me carry out what I'm doing. I know that's fucking dumb. No, I should pick something else.
Tick off your list.
Yeah.
You've got a list.
Yeah.
You want an empty list at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah. I just want to keep being present for every day, everything that shows up.
Yeah. And I laughed at you when you said, I love the fact that I'm working for it, but that's a need.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely a physiological need.
I think I just wouldn't
something.
appreciate it if I got given a lotto ticket or like just a big lump sum. Like,
would.
don't get me wrong. I would use it effectively, but I think there's some, I don't know, maybe it's just the hero's journey in me, or like maybe it's just the way that I've been brought up, but I love the fact that like I've earned something.
Yeah, and you definitely attribute more value to it.
100%.
So if you've worked for 10 grand, you're going to attribute it more value to it and take better care of it
100%.
than if you were given 10 grand.
So I'm not sure if I actually answered the question. It's probably just, if I was going to wave a magic wand, I'd want some more camera equipment. Like there's just a few little upgrades.
You can do that.
But I can do it anyway. So
Boop. Magic wand.
Exactly. There you go.
Boop. Done. That is rapid. Very rapid fire.
Cheers.
Are we doing a cheers? Oh.
Thank you for today. So it was a good catch up.
It was.
When are we going to do this again?
What month is it? I guess in March at some point.
March at some point. We'll see what happens.
February now. I don't know. You could do monthly. Do the people deserve half an hour a month?
Do the people want to hear us?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone.
Hope you enjoyed today's session. I'm sure we will be back in the near future.
Do you want my funny joke before we go?
Oh, yeah. Funny joke.
I forgot about my funny joke. What is... why is a police investigator like a glory hole?
Why? They
both rely on anonymous tips. See you next week, everyone.
Well, well done.
I like that joke. I heard it this morning. I thought it was hilarious.